Well, we've always asked the question what impact captaincy has on your own performance, whether you're a batsman or a bowler. In case of Mitchell Santner, I think he's answered the question unequivocally. Taken over from Tim Southee as captain of New Zealand today, and he's answered with a tremendous bowling spell that has completely turned the game on its head. May not affect the final result. India still have a decent amount of runs on the board, but it's certainly put a dent on what looked like a 220 type total. Let's have a look at where India are at this moment. 90 for 3 after that power play. It looked as if they would be maybe 100 plus and on course for a lot bigger. Rohit Sharma still there watching from one end while three batsmen came and went, starting with Ishan Kishan. Then it was Surya Kumar Yadav and finally Rishabh Pant, possibly promoted one ahead to change things around with the left-right combination. I'm joined by Dinesh Karthik on Cricbuzz Comm Box. DK, what a different complexion one over can make. 2 for 2 in first over from the new captain.
Oh, generally I've noticed bowlers who are captains, sometimes try and choose to bowl some easy overs. But Santner, I think, obviously took the gauntlet upon himself. And you could see that to get 2 wickets of two left-handers, both power hitting all-rounders, and bowl the way he has done, and include Surya to that, who's a terrific player of spin. What a spell of bowling. It's I keep going back to this point where, Kane Williamson chose not to bowl him because a couple of left-handers were there and a slightly tougher wicket. But today, Santner on a flat wicket in Calcutta, getting two blockbuster power-hitting left-handers out. So, sometimes you need to break these conventional norms that seem to become norms in the recent past to not bowl against left-handers. It was great to see him do what he's done.
Yeah, I think we already mentioned how Ravichandran Ashwin has answered everyone when you talk about bowling to left-handers versus right-handers. But Mitch Santner, again, bursting the myth, showing a little different approach from how he would captain to where even an experienced Kane Williamson or a Tim Southee might captain. Let's have a look at the bowling figures for the quicker bowlers. Doesn't make pretty reading because they really went for a few. Trent Bolt looks just relatively better. But for Lockie Ferguson, who knows his ground well, DK, 2 overs for 30 runs, nothing really he could do. Not that he necessarily bowled badly, but it was just the batsmen were in flow on this kind of a track.
Yep, 6 overs, 69 was the power play score, and you can see why. It's very obvious. The three fast bowlers have been tonked around the ground, especially the import from New Zealand, who is the homeboy in KKR, Mr. Lockie Ferguson. But it's very interesting. I mean, it's not easy to bowl to Rohit Sharma on these kind of wickets. He's a solid player with the back foot, and you can see why this is arguably one of his favorite rounds. He loves to, stand and deliver, and it almost goes to the boundary every time it does it. And the New Zealand fast bowlers bearing the brunt of it on this occasion.
Now, this is not quite the Kolkata surface from a few years ago when it would just be little low and slow to start with. But is it also a situation where with the new ball, first 6 overs does come onto the bat, but it will slow down a bit towards the last half?
Slow down. The only thing that will slow down as the night progresses is the traffic in Kolkata. The wicket will keep getting better to bat on, I can promise you. With the dew coming in, it'll be a solid wicket to bat on. When the New Zealanders come in, they'll enjoy batting as well. As I said, if they get a wicket from here, they could definitely stop India to 150, 160. If they don't, still 190 is a very, very possible target. But let me tell you one thing. This wicket, there is nothing called slowing down in Eden Gardens. It'll play beautifully.
Yeah, well, interesting you say that with the amount of people we have in today, DK, at Eden Gardens, and everyone likes to have an extended party. I reckon once the match is over, they're going to be out on the streets. So I don't think that prediction of yours is going to come true. Yes, I agree about the pitch, but there's going to be a lot of traffic in Kolkata till the wee hours. But tell me, Venkatesh Iyer, again, one side, Lockie Ferguson, obviously, who's familiar with the ground but couldn't really do much. Assuming he gets an opportunity and enough balls to play, he would enjoy striding out here and making a statement in front of all these fans.
Oh, definitely. I think Kolkata might see him if he gets retained for a longer time, and could be his home ground after indoor. So I think he will relish batting in those wickets. But for a start, I think they're getting a glimpse of what could be their homeboy in the future. He's a terrific player, and obviously, he would love to play in Kolkata. You got to remember that this year we didn't play in India at all. I mean, in Kolkata at the start, and in India in the back end of IPL. So we've obviously played outside. So he's getting an opportunity here. You'd have seen how good he would have been licking his lips when the first 6 overs were bowled, thinking, how I wish I could bat there. But then good to see Santner come and do what he did. It's an opportunity for him. If they lose a wicket here, hopefully the Combox curse doesn't attack the Indian team and lose a wicket. But I think if he does get to bat, it will be a great opportunity for him.
Well, we won't keep it too long just for Indian fans who might accuse us of doing that. So one quick word before we leave on Rohit Sharma. Of course, he's done it for a long time. But sometimes you go into a ground which you maybe relish a bit more than others. Occasionally, it's your home ground. But for Rohit Sharma, it's always been the Eden Gardens.
Yeah, it's like having Mishti dough. You've never had enough. I think that's what he feels about the Eden Gardens ground. He's never had enough there.
Certainly hasn't. Half century, could even go on to get close to three figures. It's all set up beautifully for him, especially when he's seen wickets falling at the other end. How much India get to, whose prediction will come right? We'll discuss it all at the halfway point. Thank you, DK. That's all we have from Cricbuzz Comm Box. We'll see you in about 8.5 overs time.